And welcome everyone to another episode of the HappyCast. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew, along with Stephanie. Today we are going to strip things back a bit, since it's just us two, and this hasn't really happened in quite some time, if ever, if I
I was about to
recall.
say if ever. I don't know if it's just been us two before.
And I don't know my appropriate reaction or how I should conduct myself, so we're just going to make it kind of like a personal, intimate, one on one interview where I produce word salad and hope Stephanie understands where I'm trying to get at. Because I honestly don't know what I'm going to say. And I'm just going to ramble on. Dylan was unable to join us today because he recently turned his Roadster in for a more family appropriate vehicle. So he's currently testing it out at a random children's soccer practice. Um, let's hope that works out for him. Because again,
Hope soccer is the right sport
he does.
to be
He's testing it
testing
out,
out.
but he doesn't have a child yet. But he's turning into a family man before our very eyes. Good luck out there and Godspeed, Dylan. For today's episode, Stephanie ran yet another 100-mile race. 20 something, 22, 23. I don't even know. I can't even keep track
It's
anymore.
21.
21. 21 100-mile races. So we give her the 21 trail salute. But she did one of the more prestigious ones out there, the Vermont 100. A daunting race on paper, um, and one of the older 100-mile ultras in this country. So we're excited to have her on, joining us, as she does every episode. So this is no different, but we don't have a third party to mediate.
And we're so lost without a third person. It doesn't matter who it is. We just need a third video
It
on the
is very
screen.
quiet in here. Yes, your video is a lot bigger than usual on my screen. It is very intimidating. It is just right in front of me. So I'm going to pass it to you, Stephanie. You are fresh off this 100-mile race just a few days ago. So as always, you like to do these episodes immediately
While
after
it's
these
fresh on my
races,
mind.
as you're actively recovering and going through it. But
Well,
as
yeah, because I can't
always,
run, so I have all this free time. I'm like, let's do it while I'm not moving.
well, you do have a dog, so don't neglect the dog.
Oh, I haven't.
You haven't been
That's been
neglecting
a
the
cha-
dog.
that's been a challenge in itself too, because this time recovery, I pushed harder, and I'll get into some of that. And so my body's tore up a little bit worse than the last few. And so she does not understand these stairs and how I'm like walking gingerly. Like I'm like leaning on the railing because I'm so scared she's gonna like pull me all the way down the stairs. Going up is fine. It's the downstairs. I mean, I'm feeling better now that I've been home for a little over 24 hours. So, but it's just, she's not gone easy on me at all.
So if no one hears from you for a while, it's safe to say she pulled you down the stairs.
Yes, and I'm
No
in the middle of
witnesses.
the stairs. Come find me.
Um,
Um, okay,
so yeah,
so
take it away, Stephanie.
I'm going to go into a little bit of, I know I've mentioned this throughout 2025 about my mental health and struggling. And so I'm going to explain or announce or say what's going on with that. And that is, I got a divorce. And so it's been a process moving out, lots of changes, lots of struggles, lots of highs and lows. And so because of that, my mom and my sister were there to crew me, and I signed up to have a stranger pace me, which turned out to be such an amazing adventure in itself. Um, on the way to packet pickup, I got an email that the divorce was final. Like, and so the reason I'm bringing this up is because it had an impact in this race. It's part of the reason I had low mileage weeks. Like, whenever I was like pulling back, it was because I was struggling with all of that. And so that part is behind me. And so At packet pickup, this has never happened before. They say turn your bib over and check your emergency contact. And it was, you know, my ex. And so I had a moment like where I'm like tearing up at packet pickup because I'm about to go into this. And it's like, and she's like, oh, if you spelled the name wrong. And I was like, no, like this was not where I was when I signed up for this race. And so I had to switch it and they had to like refill out a form. So I had an emergency contact while I was there. So that was just highs and lows just getting ready for the race was like lots of emotions. And I've been struggling because I saw something online where it was like, if you look into a room with all of your people, everyone you know, who do you go to? And I'm at a point where I don't have a go to person. And I've it's bothered me. You know, I want a go to person, but I am absolutely not ready to, or may never be ready to get in a relationship again. So, because of that, I've been struggling. And then the night before the race, I had this epiphany, and it's like I was thinking how my mom and my sister flew out. I have another sister that's taking my dog. Before I got my dog, I told my sister I was like I'm going to be traveling about once a month because either I'm doing a race or someone's doing a race. You know, should I get a dog? And she said, hands down, I'll take the dog every single time, no worries. So I have a sister who's willing to give up anything to watch the dog. I have just in Cruel Jewel, Jenny and Gresham, they dropped everything, flew out to crew me. Like my room is full of people that are would fight for me, and our community is amazing. And so just realizing instead of saying I don't have a go-to, I want to appreciate the fact that my room is full. And so that was pretty much my mantra. This whole race was my room is full of people. Like I have people that will step up and help me. You know, even and that was such a wake up call in Pennsylvania because it was all Houston people that I was surrounded by. Like we have so many people that are in our corner, and so switching that mindset to I don't have a go-to to my room is full, like felt a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. This race, you're not allowed to have AirPods or audio or speakers or anything. And I know I
Excuse me?
mentioned, yeah,
Wh- why?
nothing, because it's a horse race at the same time. So we
Oh,
ran with
oh.
horses. And you have adaptive athletes, which I love. So you have visually impaired, or there was one runner that was deaf. Like he was like, "Is my sign on my back? Can you see my sign?" So it was like I that was my most scary part about this race. I was scared about the audio, and it was literally something I completely ignored. I said I was going to train for it, and this heat has been so bad, I would not run if I was not going to have an audiobook. And so I did not train. I raw dogged it. I went in with no practice and knowing I was going to do 70 miles with no audio. Um, and I was scared of that, but I never thought about being scared because if so, I would be like in a spiral of like how bad it can be. So I just didn't think about it and I just went out. I was scared to be with my own thoughts, especially with, everything that's just happened. And so I think that was also um so I was scared of that. And then my other piece that I was scared of is this 30-hour cutoff because they advertise 17,000 feet of vert. I got over 15,000, but I was scared because my last few races, the last three, have been way over 30 hours, but they had over 30-hour cutoffs. So it's kind of like, is it because I know I could get away with it? Can I do a sub 30? It's been so long since I've seen that 30-hour cutoff. And especially with with this much climbing. And they said it was super runnable, nice country roads, and so I got an Airbnb and it was on the course. So as you're driving to the Airbnb, you see the course markings. And so I just went in, and you know what? The audio was never an issue. I came out thinking like, oh my God, I love myself. Like I spent time alone. I don't know what got me this idea that, I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. I was amazing to be with. I'm a fun person to hang out with. Um, I got to sing whatever I wanted, and like I could sing it on repeat, and I could sing the wrong words and no one was around. I just loved being by myself. I also think, I mean, it's a big race. So they have 456, I think, but that's 100K and 100 milers. I think maybe 100 milers was like 270. So you were not alone. And so I think it helped me talk more to people than normally I would just keep an AirPod in and just like run next to them. So I did talk to a lot of people, but then I wouldn't stay with people, but I probably stayed with them, a little few more steps than I would have if I had my was in my zone. Uh the other thing was when we started, there's a huge line to the bathroom and there's all these ladies in the line. So I was talking to all these ladies and I was like, man, there's so many women in this race. How cool is this? And then once the race starts, as soon as we start, I'm talking first mile, like I see like 15 different guys go off to the side to use the bathroom. And I'm like, oh my God, that's why there's only women in the line at the porta potties because the guys can just step off the trail to use the bathroom like right away. The race director is amazing. I love Amy. So she actually guided. So this she race directed, but she guided the first 15 miles with a low vision runner. And so I thought that was cool because I'm like, we're starting, and I look up and I see her with next to someone who has a blind tag on their a blind bib on, and I was like, oh my God, how cool is that that she gets to race direct and run? And I want to say 15 miles. I'm not sure if that's the right number, but I saw her at the race director at mile 15 aid station. Um, so I had lots of fun with myself. I got to sing. I mean, I was singing stuff because my brain was foggy. I was hot the whole time. I got to sing like Christian songs from elementary school that I could remember because, I guess I was pulling from a different time in my life. I sang some Alanis Morissette, which is like middle school. Um, So, anyways, it was, and I sang a lot of like, I made up some songs like This Is the Hill That Never Ends. It goes on and on. So, this is the other thing that's different. Nothing was flat, it was very gradual climbs up and very gradual climbs down or descents. So everything was runnable. And I'm going to take that back. Not everything. Most things were runnable, but you could run downhill for like 3 miles. And so I was nervous that the people around me would run up a hill because it's so subtle. You could run it fast if you wanted to. I'm not an uphill runner. But I started off far enough in the back that nobody around me was running uphill. From the very beginning, we walked the first few hills. So that made me feel comfortable. Like I never pushed too hard because no one around me was pushing too hard. We all, as soon as we saw the hill, um, would walk up it. So I did not run the hills. My friend that I ran in North Carolina with, I ran the first 20 miles in March of 2024 with her. We've kept in contact. I saw her on a YouTube video that she was crewing. She crewed this before. So I messaged her, and so we got pictures before the race. She did 22 hours, and I'm very proud of her. I'm proud to say, hey, I ran 20 miles with you at one race. So um, they have two categories. They have solo and they have crewed. And so she did 22 hours solo. So no pacers, no crew. So they have a few spots that are spectators where people can come say hi on the course, not crew. But if you're only support, there's a few spots where they can just like cheer you on, but not offer any support. And then they also offer the option because I was talking to one guy that was going to do this. He said, I'm signed up for solo, but my wife told me to get a pacer. So if my pacer shows up, I'll just switch to the crew category. So it's an easy transition. Um, they have aid stations like every 5 miles or unmanned water. They have lots of it's like a road marathon community support where there were multiple places where they had locals sitting, in their yard, like watching or cheering you on. Um, there was this one lady in her driveway, and it was like Saturday night, and she just had her hose out at the end of her driveway, wanting to hose down runners because it was so hot. Not compared to Texas. I'm saying it was hot, but the high was 75, so I shouldn't really complain. But she was hosing off runners to show support. Um, it was it was really cool, lots of support. Um, they don't let us see the course map. We have to hide it. So on Strava, it's hidden. because we crossed through 60 private properties. Um, and they don't want people training since it is such a big race. They don't want people training on the course because you there were times where we would literally pop out of a field and we are running between someone's house and barn, or we would run through someone's driveway as a part of the course. The course was marked so well because that was the other thing I was anxious. I was like, I have no GPS, and now I'm no GPX file, and now I'm so used to like looking at my watch to know if I'm on track. The service was spotty. Um, I picked up my pacer. His name is Richard. Um, he had no clue what he was getting into. He showed up early and hung out with my mom and my sister. And there's one section. Okay, so there's multiple pieces where you go through trail, and it is really technical trail, like mud and rock climbing. Um, I would compare it to Cleburne, but it has way more vert than Cleburne at spots. So this is not, they say 75, 70% of the trail is these country and sheep roads. But the part that's not, it's not even 30 miles that were bad. There was just a couple of sections that for a few miles would be so bad. Um, the worst was mile 49 to 50 that I thought would never end. And I got like a 25-minute mile. And I'm trying to do a pace chart mainly because my sister and my mom are waiting on me, and I need to tell them when to meet, and I don't have service. So if I try to turn my phone on, I would have SOS. So I didn't want them having to wait too long at different places, but they picked up so quick on like how to adjust the time of when I was coming in and not. Um, I went and looked on Strava. That 25-minute mile had like over 500 feet of climbing. So that's not comparable to Cleburne because there's no miles like that at Cleburne that you can get 500 feet in 1 mile. That's the like, but the technical, it wasn't, there were sections that were just like really, because I was also going into this like looking at it from like how would I guide Jeff out here, and there were sections where I was like, I don't even know where the correct step to take is. And we went through some meadows that had like some hills that were exposed in the heat. And there was this one guy, um, his name's Dave or David, I think. He it was I was like 15 miles in. I needed to use the bathroom. It's daylight, there's people around. I've got to find a little corner to tuck into. And I went to like go use the bathroom in this like little section that was safe. And he was using the bathroom, and I was like, okay, not okay. I'm like, there was a second that I was like, can I go here too? And I was like, that is so not appropriate. He's gonna turn around and like, this is not a everyone goes to the bathroom in this corner. So I was like, you took my spot. And then like I went up and used the bathroom. Anyways, him and I were pretty close to get to um running pace for most of the race. And it was his first 100. So we chatted back and forth. And then he either came in first or I came in first. It was back and forth. And then it got to a point where we're not talking, but we could just like see each other because that's what I'm saying. I didn't do that much talking for no audio. I never felt like bored or lost in my thoughts. Like I was able to just, and instead of the hills, like, in Colorado 6 weeks ago, I was like, fuck this hill. But this one, I was like, this is my gratitude hill. Like every hill, I was like, this is, I'm grateful to be here. I just had such a different mindset. Um, and I wanted to push. And so I pushed. So I told my pacer before he was picking me up, I was said, hey, all I need from you is I need company, and I want to be pushed. I said, I know how to like take advantage of a pace chart. And if I know I have time, I will fart around. So I need you to push me. And then when I got to that awful section, which is leaving Camp Bear 10, and then you go out to Margaritaville, that maybe it's 11-mile section was so brutal. It was so bad. Um, and I don't, so, and that's 50 to 60. So that's not even like, I don't even usually fall apart that early. I did only have like 2 hours of sleep. I went to bed with like time for 8 hours, but I could not sleep the night before. It was like I mean, everything's going on. Everything was running through my head. And so when I got to mile 60, like I knew I wasn't going to quit because I just had to do another 11-mile section to get to my pacer. So it wasn't a matter of quitting, but I did not want to go back out there. I did not want to go back through a rough section. Okay, and I want to clarify. When I say rough section, let's compare it to other things I've done. It's really not that bad. But I was just expecting these country roads, and majority of it is this amazing country roads, but there's just, spots where you step on and it's technical, which is crazy because all summer I did not train on road. And I feel like if I would have trained on like something like Mount Scott, some like road hills, it would have been better than trail running because there was so little trail running. And then I did go back out, and the next section, 60 to 70, was so much better. So I got between mile 50 and 60, I got behind my pace chart, even though I was like 25 minutes ahead when I left that. And then by mile 70, I caught up all my time and I was right back on schedule. I thought my headlamp was dead and it was not. So I ran in the dark with the glow sticks for a long time. Um, and then it wasn't dead. I was just delusional. I remember seeing one light and then there was four. Anyways, um, so I made it to my pacer, and then he pushed like every single downhill. I don't think there was flat sections, but if it was flat, he would run it. And then when we would touch like the dirt pieces, trail, I was like, "Oh my God, this is so hard." And he's like, I was like, "I hate this." And he's like, "This is all I run on is like this is not technical at all." And I'm like, "All I've been running on is trail, but for some reason this race made me a baby about like being on dirt." I was like, "I just want to cuz I can hike up a hill on road way faster than I can hike. I mean, the second you put dirt in there or rocks or like I don't know, it like I would shift my mindset." And so but he pushed me till the very end. I mean, every single one. And I was like, I don't want to, but I'm going to. Like if my body can move, I will do it. We did miss one turn, and the reason why is because we stopped to go to the bathroom, and so we wanted to each go to the bathroom separate places. And then when we got back on the road, we didn't look for a marker, and we didn't turn because we thought it was a driveway. Um, so we didn't. So we got like I went and looked at it's over a mile and a half that we got extra. But I was doing like 15-minute miles then, so it's not like it was that long. Like 20 minutes is what we lost. Um, and the only reason we caught it was because a headlamp was coming towards us. And this is a looped course. There's no out and back. There's no two-way. And so I was like, oh my God, we have to go find the marker. And they mark like every quarter of a mile. I would say they did way more than that because I feel like if I ever was like, have I seen a marker? I could either see one ahead or see one behind. So I feel like it was very well marked. It was absolutely on us. And we just laughed about it and kept going. And so we had passed some people before, and then here we are passing them a second time because we went and just did an extra mile and a half. Um, and then it got pretty low, and then I had 12 miles left, and I wanted to take a nap. This is because once you step into this napping category, it's a dangerous, like you always feel like, and I did not want to take a nap on the trail because it was like really dirt and like side gravel road, and there was some road running that you were like running a white stripe and hoping a car doesn't hit you um in there as well. So I sat in a chair and like tried to close my eyes, I think maybe 2 minutes. So it's not like take a nap, but just like get my heart rate down. And then I chugged a Loca Mocha. That's a monster drink. And then I was back. So we started running again. And I think that was mile 90. Maybe it was earlier. But no, it was mile 86, 76. But very well ran course. They have they do aid stations adopted by different running communities. So, each running group like had a theme, or they had the biggest popsicles I've ever seen. Like, I mean, like literally popsicles that are like the length of my torso. which I got a pic. I don't have very many pictures, but I have a picture of that popsicle that was
How do
so
you
cute.
even eat that? Like,
Man, it was amazing.
is it like
You
a
do
kebab
sip
or
by
something?
sip. Yes, I just like toothpaste. You know, you pushed it to the top, rolled the bottom, and that was the thing. I had three different brands of popsicles because every aid station was like stocked differently. And so it was also nice because you would think on the chart it just said that there was going to be a person there. It didn't say they would have anything. And then a whole running club would show up and they would have way more than what you were expecting because um, they were bringing, support that they just weren't promising on the like in the packet or in the runner's guide. So lots of support. Everyone was so nice. Something the race director said at the beginning, which I liked, was she's like, "Hey, trash happens to fall out of our pockets. Like that's understandable. If you see something, pick it up." And I say instead, we always say don't litter, but why don't we say, "Hey, pick up. If you see something, pick it up." And it's not like you can get every piece, but if everyone picks up one piece, then they're covering whatever it is they drop. Um, what else?
How was the traffic on the course? It's other than runners, like you said, you shared a lot
So
of roads and there's horses and whatnot.
So it was the way they have the manual written, the crew can only go on certain roads because we're going through private property. So I don't think it was bad because they had talked to crews and they limited what roads the crews could go on. So there was not a lot of interaction. There was that 1 mile that was so bad that they said it was Jeep Road. It was not what I consider Jeep Road. I saw a fucking Jeep on there, and it's like they roll down their window and they're like, "We can't believe you're even on this trail." And I'm like, "This is a vehicle. I can't believe you have a vehicle on this trail." It's like the commercial, like a commercial for a Jeep on like some rocky terrain. Like that's what they were doing. I was going up it, they were going down it, but I wouldn't have wanted to drive on it either. It was so sketchy. Um, one spot. Overall, it's a completely runnable course. There are just a couple sections that were like, oh, I wasn't prepared for that. And it was the section was that for me was Camp Tin Bear to Margaritaville, and then everyone was telling me that there was a worse section coming up. So at that point, I was ready for the bad sections and they didn't happen, or maybe my mindset changed. So I think you would get a little bit under 100, but I got 101.5 because of my extra. And so my goal originally was I did a pace chart for 26, 28, and 30. And I was like, if I could run the first half like as a 26 and the second half as a 30 and finish in 28, I'd be happy. But I finished in 27:07 or '09, which I was really proud of. Because I did pass a lot of people with Richard, but it was all guys. I don't think I passed any females. Um, I'm trying to think what else. It was just an emotional journey and just like realizing usually if I forget my AirPods and I go for a run, I have a little panic attack like, "Oh my god, can I run without music or an audiobook?" Like even if I'm home sitting on the couch, I most likely have an audiobook in my ear. Like I always have. I'm always listening to something. And I just never entertained the anxiety of it and then just getting out there like literally I just raw dogged it and just went out and it was so pleasant and fun and it's like I don't know why I thought I couldn't be alone with myself. It was amazing and it was beautiful. And especially with, what I've just gone through to be like, it is okay to be alone. And I wasn't forcing myself. It was just like, it was beautiful. And then my one running friend, he came up on me and he's like, "How are you doing?" And I swear every time he came up, I was like negative energy. I'm like, "Oh my God, that hill." And so it was better that we didn't talk. And then I mean, because there was a 17-mile section without aid. I mean, with not without aid. We had like four different aid stops, but without crew. So we weren't going to see, our crew face that we, just want to see your people. And so that's the section that we kind of like just hung out, like could see each other because it was getting so rough. Because we just wanted to make it to our pacers. And there was like this, like, we're at the top of the hill about to go down, and he comes up behind me like running. And I was like, I look at him and I was like, I know I need to run, but I don't want to. And then I ran and I was capable of it. And that goes back to like when other people are around, you're able to push yourself. Like if you're just by yourself, you can feel sorry. I mean, I would have walked more if I didn't have a pacer. Like 100%, I would not have performed like this had I not done a pacer. I mean, yeah, I don't think I would have without him, because it's just having that external motivation. I was talking to John Pace about doing speed stuff in his races, and he was like, I can't break this barrier because I don't have anyone to chase on my race anymore. Like I need someone like that, something to go towards. And so that's the beauty of pacers, which we can always. I can run one without a pacer. It's just more fun with a pacer. And I don't know. I may do another 100 without audio. I mean, it was fun, a little delusional, but
I've noticed that the longer the race is, the less audio I use. Which is interesting. If it's a 50K, then I probably have something in the whole time. Like I just don't know why. But the longer it goes, the less inclined I am to use audio, which is the opposite of what I'm used to. And it could be the fear-based running that I attest to. The longer something goes, the further out I get from civilization, just the more attuned I am. But as far as the like you said, you jokingly at least, like you seemed pretty negative, but I'm of the belief that if the negativity leads to a positive outcome, then go for it. I'm also the same. I'm just constantly bitching about the easiest terrain. It doesn't matter what I'm doing at that moment in time. I'm always just like either internally, very little externally, although you can see it on my face. I wear it on my sleeve that whatever I'm doing that is impeding my ability to at least walk faster than I would like. I hate it and I want to bitch about it. So
but if you're by yourself, it's like I
I,
don't
s-
bitch to myself.
I do. I still bitch to myself. I'm just like WTF the whole time.
Or
Just
maybe, but I laugh. I'm just like, this is stupid. Like, or turning the hills into grateful. But then when someone asks me, I'm like, oh my God, that hill. And then I'm like, don't talk to me. Maybe don't talk to me because I can't output anything
just
positive right now.
like we use dark humor on ourselves. Just the absurdity of the situation. And of course, you got to take that external viewpoint that it doesn't matter. What we're doing is to the layperson, to the average person, it's ridiculous. But we're surrounded by all these people with massive accomplishments that sometimes get shrouded by we think it's normal and it's not. What we're doing is not normal. So it's kind of cool just to like try to gain a wider viewpoint every now and then. It's like I'm running 100 miles, run, walking, crawling when most people can't even walk just 3 miles. Um, like to the local grocery store or something like that.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So it's okay to be negative and just laugh at the absurdity of it every now and then. I kind of I don't want to be negative, but when I do become negative, I try to have fun with it, or just like I try to find the funny side in things.
I
'Cause
think I
it is
left
it is stupid.
the last 12-mile aid station. I think I left saying I don't want to go back out there. And I don't know, I think people probably thought I was going to quit or something. I was like, no, I am saying, like, I was doing it as I'm walking to the trail, as my mom and sister, like, get your ass back out there. Richard is already stepping foot on the trail, and I'm like, I don't want to go back out. Uh, and the whole time, I'm just like, it makes me think of Colorado when I told Ben, how am I going to get out of this? And then it was like, you're not going to get out of this. You're going to have to finish it. And it was like, but that's the beauty of having all the aid stations, or like 3 to 5 miles apart. It was like, just get these 2 more miles. Like, don't think about the whole piece. Like, don't think about, you know, 70 miles till you get a pacer. You think about just do this section, which was helpful. So I know I am complaining a little bit about the terrain, but I want to talk about the finishing stats because it'll show you that this has a 30-hour cutoff, which I say is almost old school 100 milers now because there's so many that have more. 202 males were registered, 160 finished. Females, there was 70 registered. Oh, that's really low. That's like one fourth. 70 registered, 51 finished. So, um, I'm not going to try to do math. I'm going to say that's 20% that DNF'd. That's really good, especially for a 30-hour cutoff. So, definitely recommend. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We get back from the race to the Airbnb, and our dumpster, our outside dumpster, is everywhere, and it's like all bent in because a bear got into our dumpster. And I was like, no, there's no bears. There's no way. And then I messaged the Airbnb lady because it's destroyed the bin. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's definitely a bear. And I'm like, why did they not tell us? She goes, we can't get rid of them. There's these things called like bear bins, like, where you can't get in. It's got a code. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't have taken the trash out before we went to the race. Like, the bear ate the watermelon. Like, there was like all the way to the rind. There was like no pink left over. And you can see where he just sat and just like went to town because we had like scraps of food. So I thought that was crazy because we didn't know that there really are bears in the area. Because, like I said, our Airbnb was on the race course and no one has ever mentioned bear spray or anything. And they're like, oh, it's black bears, so it's safe. Wait, black bears are the safe ones, right?
There's no such thing as a safe bear.
Okay, they say
No.
black bears are bad, grizzlies
Bra-
are.
yeah. Brown is worse. But they're all bad. Black is the
Nobody
least
warned us,
bad.
but there were bears
Polar
out
is the
there,
worst.
and I have pictures to prove it.
The color scheming of bears is just ridiculous. I mean, because it's all over the place. It's you think black would be the worst, but it's not. It's the brown. But then actually, the polar bear, the widest one out there, is the worst. But thankfully, we're not going to see that in Vermont, or maybe I don't know.
Well, I didn't even think we would see bear. I mean, we didn't see bears, but I didn't even think there'd be bears. But they definitely enjoyed, our night on the race course. They like enjoyed what. And the other thing is they have lots of recycling and compost. So every aid station had a trash, a recycle, and a compost. And I was just like, they're making a difference, and ma- you're they don't provide plastic bags. If you need a bag at the grocery store, you have to pay 10 cents for a paper bag. And I'm just like, they're making a difference. And Texas is wasting so much because we are so big and we aren't doing anything to conserve or recycle or compared to other places. So definitely interesting. And all the popsicles I ate. I don't ever eat popsicles in real life, but I had three and they were amazing.
And they usually don't have a ton of calories if they're the
I know
popsicles you're
that
thinking about.
that huge one had 70 calories, and I was like, because I was like, oh, I'm getting some good nutrition here. It's pure sugar, and I'm like, something's going on for it
Yeah,
to.
like when people ask for soup, and that's usually all they eat. I'm like, you're getting like nothing right now. I mean, you're just getting sodium. You're not really getting a lot of calories. I mean, there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of these races don't have anything calorically dense. Like you just have to grab a handful of Oreos or so. How are the other food options there?
Do you want me to? I don't remember
You don't remember? You didn't eat
eating their
food.
food.
Did they have sushi? Because we know you love sushi.
Oh, I did
Did you
eat
bring
sushi
sushi?
while I was there, and I guess the bear ate the rest of it.
Yeah.
Um, we had really good because we flew into Connecticut and then drove 2 hours, because it was cheaper. So my mom geocaches. So we geocached in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Vermont. So she got 3 states, which was cool. But the first place we go to geocache, we went on a Thursday. The race starts 4 a.m. on Saturday, which was 3 a.m. Texas time. So if I'm getting up at 1 a.m. Texas time, that's why I couldn't sleep because I'm going to bed so early for what it was in Texas, especially staying up late all summer. So we go to geocache. This is the best story, and I probably shouldn't share this, but I'm going to because I love my mom and I love my sister, and it was a little traumatic. So my mom wants to geocache. It is on a little side street right next to the Connecticut River, and they tell geocaching is where it's an app. It's kind of like, I don't know the Pokemon thing, but I think it would be like that, except there's a physical treasure that you're hunting. So it gives you GPS coordinates. So we pull off to the side, and when we do, there's a van in front of us on the pull off on the side of the road. And I was like, okay, this is a little sketchy because we don't know where we are. And then we're going into the woods to find this treasure, and the title is Tree of Three. Okay. So this man, there's a man in the van. And I was like, oh my God. So we couldn't go to the right of it because he'd parked so close to the, the brush. So when we go to the left, and he has his shirt off, my mom took in all these details. She's like, he's got messed up teeth. There's a skeleton in the passenger seat. I was like, no, there was not. But my mom swears it. Okay. So we go into the trees. He's like, what does this have to do with my van? Like he thought we were like going into his van. And we're like, dude, no, we're just like geocaching. I guess it's hard to explain. And then we had to go back. And I was like, Mom, it's not over here. So we go, and I'm like, I point to where it is, and she's like, yeah, it says you have to bushwhack. And I'm like, Mom, this is just a bed of poison ivy. Like, you have to go through this poison ivy to get to it. And she's just like looking at me, like waiting for me to say it's okay. My sister is absolutely against this. She is sitting in the car taking pictures of us getting a license plate on the van, called my other sister saying how unsafe we were being. And so I said, Mom, just go for it. And then nobody gets to be around you because your poison ivy is, you're contaminated. And she confidently stepped into a, a solid brush of poison ivy to go get this geocache. And then afterwards, we said that side of the car was contaminated because I was like, I don't want to go home with poison ivy. Um, which was lots of fun because then we joked about like how we shouldn't be doing unsafe things like that. Um, and it was fun because running with people, I ran with a guy from Connecticut, and he was saying that they have um, lots of issues with poison ivy in Connecticut right now because they've up in the Northeast they've had a hotter summer. What's the is that higher more intense summer? We've had it milder. So what's the word for what they've had the opposite of us?
I don't know what you would call it.
I don't know but they've had a hotter summer than normal.
Yeah.
And so, but that's, and running, I ran with people from Connecticut, Delaware, Maine, Massachusetts. Um, the guy that paced me is moving to France in 3 weeks. It's like, because all those states are so clustered. And I ran with someone that ran the New Hampshire race. I ran with another lady who's done the New Jersey race I'm about to do. So it was like you're meeting people from all over in Texas. We're so big. It's like 4 hours and you're still in Texas. Like you're just on. You just got through traffic to get from Fort Worth to Dallas. Like so, lots of fun. Totally recommend. Um, just I don't want to play it off that it was an easy one. I feel like 27 hours you're like, "Oh, it's an easy trail." No, I worked my ass off and I ran so consistent. Um and I'm proud of my performance even though my original goal, like a goal was 26. Like I am so proud of that because I'm proud of my finish. Like I felt like I finished strong compared to that Colorado where I just eked it out and barely finished. So this one, like, and I feel like the Colorado Trail was more runnable than this Vermont one. I feel like it's
Ooh.
definitely had technical sections compared to the Colorado one. And it had equivalent vert to the Colorado one, according to Garmin, not necessarily according to the race because it said more by the race. But, and in Colorado, I did like what, 32 and a half, I think. And so 27 is like,
And then
that's not
right
bad.
after Cruel Jewel, I mean, like, you had some back-to-back bangers, so
And some altitude.
yeah, I'm sure, like, that's still, even though, like,
There was
on
no altitude
paper
in Vermont, but I'm
they
saying there was
were
altitude in Colorado.
as a lot harder as those other races were. Like, yeah, you did do cruel drill. Obviously, doing no one really does cruel drill under 30 hours. But yeah, your mindset is like you did these long ass 100-mile races.
Right.
So can I actually do a sub 30 again? It doesn't even
That's what
matter
I'm
if it's flat.
saying.
It
And I'm
fucks with
like, I
you.
don't care how many I've done. It's like, yeah.
Just like anytime I do a 100-mile race and I'm recovering, I don't think I'll ever run again. Like, because I can barely walk. And as someone who now lives in a place with stairs, it's scary, you know? Sometimes, especially living in Houston, that's the only vert training I get is going up and down the stairs. So yeah, it's I feel your pain. Obviously not to your extent because I rarely race these days compared to you, but
Maybe you start with something not 200 milers to get back in it. Have you thought
I
about
think
that?
I'm good. 100 miles are hard. My friend,
Why does it have to be a 100 miler? Why can't you just
100 milers are just like I don't want to run fast. I'm good. I want to run slow and just like sometimes just stand in the middle of a trail for 10 minutes leaning on my pole and bitching at nobody in particular, or if I'm with a pacer, not talk to them for like 24 hours because I don't really talk
do you not
apparently.
wait, do you
To
really not talk when you got pacers?
it's yeah, yeah. Sometimes as a pacer, I don't talk much at either. It's pretty bad. Sometimes people beg me to talk, and I'm like, dude, I we talk plenty outside of this race. Let's just enjoy this suffering together. But
So that's the thing too. That's when I would want headphones. It's like there was a few times where I was like, I kind of feel like if I put headphones in and just grinded this out, and then the thought would pass and I would just grind it out. Like, but here's the other thing. Since it was runnable, I felt like the miles were flying by compared to Colorado and Kruljul. So I don't know if that was it. Could I have done this on a harder terrain? Could I have gone without audio? Maybe that's my next maybe that's my next challenge is doing no audio on a harder terrain. I don't know. There was and that the other thing is I missed a lot of the racing. So Lisa Decker, she did Vol State and she finished when I was starting. Or I don't know if she finished between Friday night and Saturday. I don't know what time she finished. So I don't know if she finished and I didn't check it when I woke up. But I was following her all week, and then I started racing, and then I'm just like, she has to be finished. And then what race was Greg running?
he did Cascade Crest 100. We had a few people. There was so much going on. Uray 100
And High Lonesome.
and High Lonesome. We know some
And
people.
did you see that at High Lonesome they had over 50% were females?
Yeah, for the first time. I mean, oh yeah, the finishing rate too is also the most I believe they've had.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, that makes so I didn't get to track anything because when I was, oh, so here's another thing about this race that I did not know. When we finished, we got finisher shorts. So they're shorts with the logo on it. Super cute, super comfortable, already worn them. Awesome finishing prize because it's something that's useful. But they did not have a buckle. You had to go back for the award ceremony, um, which I was so thankful I finished late because they called it from the back of the pack to the front. So I could get my buckle earlier and get out. We flew back Sunday night. So we had to leave Vermont at 2:30 and our flight got delayed. I didn't get in till like Monday AM, 2 a.m. or something. So I mean, it was a very long weekend of being up. But we had to go back for our buckle, which was fun. But when you go back and there's no service, so it's like I never had time to just like sit and catch up on where everyone was running. Okay, so it was Cascade Crest was Greg, and you said we had other people out there doing different distances, correct?
Oh, yeah. Oh God. Like so, John Ferris did Uray 100, and he finished this time. After last year, he had altitude
Yes, right.
issues.
Okay, I didn't
Um,
even know he was running it.
yeah, he did better with the training for it. We had um Rachel Millman
Oh
finished
my God, we need to
too.
have her on.
We need to
I want
talk
to
to
have
her.
her
That'd
on.
be great.
She finished Ouray
Congratulations.
first shot.
You know what was funny? Not funny. Her tracker faded her out at like mile 75, and it didn't move for a long time. So I thought she dropped.
Everyone was parent. Yeah,
And
everyone
well,
assumed.
and then I didn't know that she finished until like the next day, like in an
When Scott
Instagram
posted.
story. I'm just like, oh wait, she finished. So I don't know what was going on with the trackers there. But I'm happy for her because like she's finished some. She's also DNF'd some recently. Like saw her at Cocodona, which I'm always to the belief, and some people agree with me that um, just until you do have to do a 200 miler, that really forces strict cutoffs. I think 100-mile races are harder, more intense overall. I mean, yeah, it's not a lot of people are pushing themselves as hard in a 200-mile race as a 100-mile race because like there's a lot of more lenient cutoffs,
Well,
especially.
here's Mika said in the 200 miler, if you make a mistake, you have to address it. You can't just, you know, do eight in a 100 miler. If something goes wrong, you get a blister. You can just, you know, get 8 hour, go with the blister for 8 more hours. But if you have a blister in a 200, you have to stop. You have to take care of it.
And you do have time to do that.
And you have time, but you have to use it early. You can't, wait and deal with it after it's an issue.
So yeah, I mean, so I'm happy for Rachel. Crap, we're gonna miss a lot of people. We
I
had a
know.
few people do High Lonesome. Jason Massey, who I don't, you know him from
Oh,
Fort
I
Worth. He was
do.
out there. I didn't even know he was out there. Yeah.
At High
Um,
Lonesome?
yeah, he finished, and he also told me because he does 200s. And just like he was like, yeah, hundreds are harder than 200s. Like,
Well,
yeah.
Ouray is a beast in itself.
And well, in High Lonesome is also incredibly difficult. Then they have a Uray gives you 52 hours. High Lonesome's what like 37, 38 hour cutoff.
Oh my God.
Not as much vert obviously, but still a high altitude race. Um, but yeah, it was a very busy weekend. Um, I definitely got FOMO, but I'm kind of just semi-retired. I think I'm just gonna retire every summer until I get a summer home out of Texas, because I'm not running in this shit. So,
You know what?
um,
Here's the deal. Up north, they take the winter months like to take it easy. Why can we not just accept that summer months take it easy? Like I'm still telling you, but I was going through some stuff. I had some real low weeks. There was 3 separate weeks that I had like just depressed for the whole week. So it's like show ourselves grace. This isn't the end of us. This one season does not define us. That's what you need to realize. Like, you may end up being a low for the summer, but maybe race every summer out of state.
yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
just a
start doing
season.
that.
It's not going to be the end of
I
the
told her,
the
Gina,
year.
we're not doing this again. The only reason I'm putting up with this is because I had to get a new job and I can't really travel that much right now until the end of the year. So
So then that's what it is. It's not the heat. It's that it's
I
your
can't
whole
escape
thing
it
still not.
really.
Yeah, because
So
see,
it's,
it's
it's
not even running. Don't start making music.
so
That worried me last week
oh
when
look
he's
at
like,
I
I'm just
no
gonna
look I
start
got my
making
little MIDI
music.
keyboard right here.
No.
Yeah, for people, hey, if you guys want to make an album with me, let me know. I play all instruments. It's been a
But
while.
that is true for 200s. It's if that's where your heart is, it's hard to take a whole week off. I mean,
Yeah.
it's more than a week because you have travel time.
So I guess we can just go straight into our can't let it go.
Yeah.
I'll go first. So obviously struggling with running. Um, so two things. I'm boycotting the sun. That's going to be a thing. But unfortunately, I work night shift, so there's very little I can really do about the boycotting, and I refuse to run on treadmill for more than 3 miles. So, although if I feel like running fast, I will go on a treadmill just to remind myself, oh, I can still run fast. Just yeah. So I'm boycotting the sun. I'm only run walking if it's the heat of the day. Um, I set some rules for me, some ground rules during this boycott. I can't run for more than half a mile at a time before I walk, just and because I hate the sun so much. Because for those that this is my first summer in Houston, so for those not in the area, Houston's not only hot; it doesn't get as hot as DFW, only a few degrees less, but the humidity is smothering. Um, I feel like an egg that's slowly turning into an omelet, like within the first 5 minutes out there. Like I don't even know where all these extra spices are coming from. It's just a stuffed Texas omelet, and it's just disgusting. And but so yeah, it's I'm not gonna just straight up run in this. If it's early in the morning or late in the evening, like tonight, I'll actually run. But yeah, I'm done. It's like all these midday runs, which I have to do because of work. I'm just like over it. So boycotting the sun. Number two is because I am working at a new job. It's an awesome job, but I'm in a probationary period, so I can't travel until November unless it's a very short weekend getaway. I can't go to Summit 200 to volunteer with Regina. Um, so
Oh,
she's leaving this in 2 days. This Thursday. This episode comes out
and I bet
tomorrow.
and I bet that makes it even harder that she gets to travel and do the
Well,
things and you have to stay home.
she didn't get to go to Colorado earlier this month due to some pain issues, like some she was like sick. So she planned on going to Colorado multiple times this month. So I'm like without me. So I'm like, hey, this is your chance to still go without me. So but she is course marking and running an aid station so far by herself. Um,
What are the dates? It's this weekend?
no, it starts. She's heading out there early. It starts on, I believe, Monday, the 28th. Yeah, so you
Oh
it
my
starts Monday
God.
the
I
20.
have a dog, but
It's
why
a
can't I go?
it's a Monday through. I thought you said you were starting school soon.
I am on the 4th.
Oh, you should go. She needs help. Go reach out
Oh
to
my.
her. We could help you out to get her out, get you out there. That'd be pretty decent. Um, because Candace Burr, I talked to her. She was originally going to run the race, but she's focusing on her conquering of the Nolans, the 14ers out there. So now she's only volunteering, not only, but she's by herself too at an aid station. So they could really use some help. I feel really bad. This is my second year having to miss the summit volunteering, but Regina's still going. Um, but yeah, if it's not too late, this is July 22nd, so tomorrow's the 23rd when it comes out. If people are interested in helping volunteer in the Colorado area or just want to go out to Colorado, let us know. We can try to help you out.
Oh my God.
Um,
Is that bad for my I gotta think about my dog. Okay.
bring your dog
Oh
or
my
just
God.
give me the dog. Don't give me the dog. I plan on day drinking while she's
Good
gone every
idea.
day. I have 18 more bottles of wine, so to
Oh my
make it
God,
through.
I'm
So
recovering so I could do it, right? Don't you think? I'm not racing again till end of September. So it's
absolutely,
kind
and
of nice
also
that I have.
it's like one of the most gorgeous parts of the country. I mean, it's not
Why can I not just take my dog? Why can I not just drive up there
honestly,
with my
Stephanie.
dog?
I don't know, but as someone that's biased at the moment, and just take your damn dog. Just
I'm mapping to see how far of a drive it is.
I like that drive. You just go through Amarillo. You go through Raton, Pueblo, which is the ghetto of Colorado. No offense to those in Pueblo, but it's a nice little scenic drive. Stop at the
It's
volcano on
13
the way there, New
hours.
Mexico. Do a hike up the volcano, Capulan. I'm probably butchering the name of these things, but yeah, it should be it should be like less than a 12-hour drive, which to
It's
me is
saying
nothing.
12:45.
It should, yeah, to me it's nothing, but and as an endurance quote unquote athlete, it's nothing to us. That's not even that's like a 40-50 mile trail race, a technical trail race. So but yeah, ask her about it. But so yeah, that's my can't let it go. Wow, it's a long one. So this was going to be a shorter episode, but we're now at an hour. So Stephanie, you
I
take it
know we
away.
said we were only doing 45 minutes. My can't let it go is, like I said, my motto for this weekend is my room is full. I have people in the room that want to support me. I have people that 100% support me and like whatever um, craziness I come up with. But I am so incredibly thankful for my mom and my sister. They had the intensity and high energy the entire race. I came in crying or whining, and that's also because they were my safe space. These aren't strangers. This is my family. And so I would come in and be vulnerable and just like, this is tough because I was pushing myself. Not that I wanted to quit. It's just like, I'm testing limits. And then also so thankful for Richard. I haven't even looked to see if he's got to have Strava to see how long he spent with me, and he it could have been bad. So I was very lucky to have someone that could push me, and I'm very thankful for the support I had this weekend. So that's my can't let it go. Is I'm still thankful.
Well, that was very short but sweet. I had a longer one than you. That's rare, and also this is rare, just both of us. But we survived, no infighting, and well, not that the audience would ever
Because
know,
there's too
because
much emotional.
we could have just edited everything out. Um, this episode was actually 2 hours long, but there's a lot of bickering between us. So Dylan was able to cut it down to just a little over an hour once he came back from soccer practice. So, um, anyways,
Soccer mom.
so hey, dude, I wish to be able to attend soccer practice one day with a child that I own or belongs to me, or I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a parent. I don't know how you phrase it, but who knows? But yeah. On that note, we're going to end this episode. Congratulations once again on
Thanks.
number 21, Stephanie. Almost halfway there. You're gonna have to get some creative 100 milers out there soon, I'm sure. Um,
Yeah.
with some of these
I found a
states.
new one in Maine. I gotta look
What's
it up.
what's the next one, anyways?
The next one is New Jersey in
Uh,
September, New Hampshire in October, which is going to be a party one, and then Tennessee in November and Arkansas in December. I'm going back to Arkansas. Ah,
yeah, Arkansas doesn't really have any easy one. Is a Traveler potentially the easiest one? That's because it's a lot of road, but like that also has a lot of
I want
vert.
to go. I'm looking. I don't think I can do it this year. I can't do it this year. Next year, I would like to pace or crew Arkansas Traveler. I'm putting that out there if somebody's doing it in 2026 and needs support.
I'll never forget crewing Arkansas Traveler. That one aid station was the most ridiculous aid station, like the halfway point where everyone just got stuck up there, and we're having to help cars get unstuck.
So that's the thing.
So
All of these roads to these aid stations were smooth. They didn't have like
yeah,
rivets and stuff. You know what I mean? So that was what I was saying is like it's not like normal Jeep road. Even driving, I mean, there's hills and it's, real narrow, but it's nothing compared to this
that
type of
like
terrain.
it's just weird. These are even Cruel Jewel last year. 'Cause Cruel Jewel was a disaster to crew because it just kind of rained all the time, the whole time, and everyone's getting stuck there. I mean, so yeah, these races you never think that would be hard to crew. Just like, oh shit, yeah. But all right, so we're going to end this episode. We got a full episode out of it.
Yay!
Wow. We kind of or I half-assed this. There won't be a video for this one. That's 2 weeks in a row without video, but
Y'all be okay.
we'll get back into videos starting next episode. We've been having some issues, but just know that I'm robed up, sipping on a cocktail. Stephanie's wearing like 50 medals around her neck.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, the buckle is tiny. It's like, it's
that's probably
tiny.
good. Just like a yeah, the tiniest ones are usually the most convenient. As someone with a growing gut, I need a smaller buckle if I'm wearing it out.
Like
So
enough that when my mom saw it, she's like, isn't that smaller than normal? And I was like, I think that's a level that we're on that my mother knows what size the buckles normally are.
all right, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you again next week. This probably I don't know when this will happen again. Just Stephanie and I. But we'll bring in
Hopefully it was
some
entertaining with just
we'll
the
bring
two
in
of us.
some a third party, or maybe up to a fourth party. We'll see. And maybe, I don't know, Dylan may hop back on soon. Who knows? Speak it into existence. Force him to come back on. He's
We
just
need you.
living his best life at the moment. He gets to edit these though, so
Yeah, he
in your
still hears
face.
us.
That's the hardest part, especially with the short turnaround since this comes out tomorrow. So, anyways, all right. As always, Mo knows. Happy late birthday, Mo. And yeah, until next week, happy
Happy endings.
endings.